Antoinette, give me something that make us start school.
Good. What?
I mean, I honest.
Get the bank
Hi guys, good evening everybody. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes to see if other persons turn up for the class.
Okay, sir.
All right, I'm seeing 4 persons. I think let's consider it a quorum. I'm not sure the class will be bigger. Does anybody know if there are other persons who are to join the class? Because usually by now you should have a sense of the persons who are in your year group. Do you expect others to join the class?
Good night, sir. Quite a few persons having issues.
Do you know what sort of issues they're having?
Well, even to select the courses.
Oh, there was a session today on that. I'm not sure if persons were able to attend.
Well, for me, I'm currently in that session. I received the link from one of my colleagues.
So the session is not over?
No, we're having a lot of persons having problems right now. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me wait a few minutes. Let's see. I'll wait about 15 minutes or so to see what happens. All right. And see if other persons join us, because if they're really having issues, then we really have to give them an opportunity to sort the issues out. But do not log out. Stay in the class and let's wait to see what happens with others.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. All right. You're hearing me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what I'm going to do, because there are more, we have about 5 persons, what we can do something that is not going to be, that it won't affect other persons who will join us later. I want for you to, so I'm going to introduce myself and you're going to introduce yourself, but how you're going to do it, you're going to choose an image. And the image should reflect your personality. You should be able to share screen so that we can see the image and And you use the image to kind of tell us who you are, probably what kind of work you do, or if you're if you are working, not working, or where you work, and what is it that you hope to accomplish. Is it that you're studying business administration? If you are studying business administration, what are some of the things that you hope to accomplish after program completion? You know, things like that. And I'm seeing one of my past students in the class. I don't know if others will join us. All right. Everybody understands the instruction I just gave? Hello, talk to me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me introduce myself first. So my name is Robin Clark, and well, obviously I'm your lecturer for this particular course called Oral Communication. And it is really public speaking. That's really what it is about. It's to help you to articulate well in front of an audience, individual as well as collectively, or working with a group. I have been working at Excelsior since 2011, teaching academic writing, public speaking / oral communication, business communication, principles of marketing. I've taught intro to management, international business. So those are my areas. I'm the current Dean of Marketing and Communication. So many of the emails that you will see coming for example, from the OMMC, I am the one sending those emails. I field your queries to the respective schools. I am also, well, I've also taught outside of ECC. I've taught at the University of the West Indies, Mona, for about 7 years. I think it's 5 to 7 years, I can't remember. Teaching academic writing as well as culture and entertainment, because I have a master's in OER. And I've taught at UCC academic writing. I was in charge of academic writing for the time I was there full time. I taught there prior to my full-time tenure for about 4 to 5 years. I've been there. I was there for quite some time. I'm a former radio host. I was on Nationwide co-hosting a program with Dr. Karen Carpenter called Love and Sex. I was there for a year. It was a very good experience. So I do have experience in terms of public speaking, especially since I've been master of ceremony for so many events. I jump at every occasion to actually speak publicly. I think that's the best way. That's what I was taught when I did a course in public speaking at CPTC. You know, you jump at the opportunities. I'm a trained teacher of English, a trained teacher also of teaching English as a second language. I got that training in Canada. My master's is in cultural studies. My first degree is in international relations and literatures in English. My master's is in cultural studies. I have a postgraduate diploma in marketing research and analytics, another postgraduate diploma in English language education. I have a diploma in English language education. No, I have a diploma in teaching English as a second language, and I have various certifications in public relations and social media marketing. So I'm an author. I've written a book chapter that is in 2 books. As I said, my area of expertise outside of marketing is culture. So I do a lot of cultural research. Well, not so much now. I've kind of toned that down. I'm more into marketing now, especially social media marketing. I work outside of Excelsior as a social media marketer / digital marketer and a marketing consultant. Did some work for KLS Radio, covered the Olympics for them, social media coordinator. I've worked with other entities. I won't name all of them because some of them I wish to remain private. So I have extensive years of experience in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in the private sector. I actually still work in Canada, do some teaching in Canada at a company I'm supposed to return. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. You will get used to me over time. One person who is used to me, she probably can give you the, how I am. I take my work very seriously, and I expect the same of my students. All right, so I want for you to choose an image. Please share screen. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. You're going to choose an image, and you're going to introduce yourself and tell me how the image reflects your personality. And I don't know if you're all studying business administration, and if you're working, what kind of work you do. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to tell us the kind of work you do, but it would be good for us to get to know you, because I don't know every single person in the room, there are some old faces and some new faces. All right, go ahead, guys. So 10 minutes. So we resume talking at 7:20. All right, so I'm giving you 10 minutes to search for your image and introduce yourself and all of that. All right, so introducing yourself to me as well as the class.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
What are we supposed to do, sir?
Can you hold on until 7:20, please? And you'll find out, okay?
Okay, then, no problem.
All right, so let me start off with Dana Spears. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Go ahead, Miss Spear.
Okay, good night.
Good evening. We say good
Oh,
evening.
sorry, good evening.
Evening. Ning.
Good evening. Is that better, sir?
Yes, it's evening.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, I decided to go with the image of a shredder. Particularly because, you know, just tucked away in the corner, unbothered until it is time to be used and it gets the job done. So as you guys know before from semester 1, my name is Dana Spear. I am doing a bachelor's degree in business administration.
You're doing an associate bachelor's degree?
No, I said slash, sorry. I am doing an associate's degree in business administration. And I am currently a junior accounting officer at Fidelity Motors, that is Nissan Jamaica. And I am...
You guys sell cars?
Yes, we do.
What is the
only
cheapest
Nissan.
car you have now? I was looking at a car today.
We only sell new vehicles, so the cheapest car we have is approximately $5.8 million.
Okay, all right.
Yes. So yes, I am jovial. I like to do my work. I honestly, I want to say I am a team player at times. I don't want to lie and say all the times, because I will get my work done, but there are some team members who will limit that, and that's when I really don't like teamwork. But other than that, I am educated, bright, and diligent person. So yes, that's me.
Thank you very much. Dana, thank you. All right, up next is Geraldine Hammond. Hamnot. Go ahead, Geraldine.
Sir, can you give me a minute? I'm trying to bring up an image.
Okay. Do you actually have the image or you're searching for it?
Sir, I have the image. I'm gonna do it now. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. You're hearing me?
We are.
Okay, my name is Geraldine Hammond. My image is an eagle. And why I state an eagle, I always strive for excellence and I never give up. I am studying business administration currently. I am an admin assistant at the Integrity Commission. I am a humble person. I don't like to talk a lot. I rather listen than talk a lot. Unless someone asks a question, then I'll respond. All right, that's it.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Junior Rumble. Sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Rumble. Are you there, sir? Junior Rumble, are you there? I know you were there earlier. All right, so let's move on. Kamalia Harrison, go ahead for me. Kamalia Harrison.
Good evening, sir. I just joined, so I didn't, I don't have an image to show.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Is
so
that
let's come
okay?
back to you. Let's come back to you. By the time I get back to you, you'll get an image, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, Carlene Wilson, go ahead, Carlene Wilson.
Good evening, sir.
Evening.
At I'm trying to, at I'm using my phone, I'm not really. Let me see if I can share. I don't know if there's, I don't know how to share image while using my phone, you know, to be honest.
All right, go ahead.
All right, good evening again, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlene Wilson. And I'm a person, I'm not gonna say that I don't like to talk. I like to talk, however, I have a speech impediment. I stutter, so at times I've used you know, a lot of fillers just to hide my stuttering. So hence I don't really like public speaking. So oral communication, I'm gonna say, wow, it's, you know, it's gonna be a bit challenging for me. But for me, I try my best to do the best that I can. I am a accounting clerk at a school. I get a little bit, I get flustered easily. Yeah, basically, I don't have much to say. So that's
What's your
about it.
major? What is your major?
Oh, sorry, my major, I'm doing associate degree in business administration.
Okay, I didn't hear a stutter in all that you were saying, so it's probably when you get nervous you stutter, but I didn't hear any stutter
No,
earlier. So
sir, because as I said that when I'm, you know, about to stutter, I use, like, you know, fillers, so you will not know, right? But yes, when I get nervous, I do. You will hear it more.
okay, all right. Thank you very much,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wilson. Junior, are you able to now speak? Mr. Rumble, I see you're back with us. I'm not sure if you're able to speak. All right, doesn't seem that way at all. Carry on, Daily, go ahead for me.
Oh, good night.
So it's good evening.
Good evening. So what are we supposed to do?
All right, so you joined us late, so hold on. Lishana Brown, go ahead for me, Lishana.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Lishana Brown. I use a butterfly to reflect my personality because I am optimistic, easygoing, honest, and helpful. I believe in changes, though it may not be easy or comfortable at times, but I know it will always bring positive outcomes. I work as a secretary at the Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, and I'm pursuing an associate degree in business administration. Thank you.
Why? Why are you doing an associate degree in business administration?
Sir, I am doing it because to be more qualified
Mhm.
and so that I can be um it would have been like what the word no 15.
Find the word.
It would have been still qualified for the job, sir.
Thank you. I'm at Patricia Williams. Were you able to by now? Are you able to deliver based on all that was said?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Let me try. Just a minute, sir.
Sir, good night. I'm a bit late.
Can you hold on and allow her to present, please? And then you'll find out what is happening in the class. Thank you. Your mic might be muted, Patricia. We're not hearing you. We're seeing the image, but I don't know if you have muted your mic.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. All right. Good evening, everyone. I chose an eagle because I believe in soaring to new heights. That is garnering new skill as I go along. I'm currently pursuing an associate degree in business administration. I'm not much of a people person. However, I believe in teamwork, hard work, and dedication.
All right. Miss Williams, you did well in my course, right?
I should think so, sir.
Well, I think all persons who are in this course did very well in COM 1, COM 2, and now oral COM. All right. Thank you very much, Miss Williams. Who else is on the list? Sir Junior Rumble, I'm not hearing you. What's happening? I heard it the first time around.
Yes, good night.
So good evening, sir.
Well,
Good evening, sir. Yes, go
Yes,
ahead, sir.
I'll send the response to you.
Oh, you're still in the session?
Yeah.
Turn it down for hello. Turn it down for me now. You're in my class, so we don't know why I'm hear so much noise in my background. Turn it down. Thank you very much, sir. You're in my class, so you're not having many challenges because you're in this class. It means that you have activated your ECC email. It means that you have selected your course. So turn it down and go ahead, sir.
No, I haven't selected any course, but let me see.
Share screen. You're supposed to share an image.
Oh no. All right.
Mine shows things that you're not supposed to show us, you know. Okay, go ahead. That's happened before in my class.
Yes, good evening again. I am Junior Rumble. I have decided to choose a tiger because a tiger is pretty focused on whatever he wants and is very strategic and plans and organize himself before he really go out and attack. So amongst other things, good characteristics. But for me, I am goal oriented. I try to push myself beyond my limit. So each time I feel like I reach my limit, I try to go beyond it in order to improve. I am a very jovial person. Yeah, fun and all. I am doing associate degree in business admin also. Um, Yes, I'm open
Why?
to learn.
Why are you
Yes,
doing?
that's basically me.
Why are you doing a business an associate degree? And it is don't say I am doing associate. I say here everybody say I'm doing associate degree. So I am doing an associate degree. All right. Why are you doing an associate degree in business administration? You can stop sharing screen. You heard me, sir? Rumble, are you hearing me? Okay, I don't think he's hearing me. Rumble, are you hearing me? Is anyone else hearing me?
My internet is not so stable, so you're breaking up. Okay.
Okay. The
Repeat
internet
that for me,
is
please.
it's okay. Let me not stress if you're having connectivity issues. So I'm just going to ask you to stop sharing
Yes, but
screen
you're
so that
breaking up.
just stop sharing screen for me, thanks. So that other persons can get a chance, okay?
Yes, yeah. Are you hearing me, sir?
I'm just hearing you. Stop sharing screen for me. Look in the chat. I said stop sharing screen. Once you're still sharing screen, then no one else can share. Look in the chat, Rumble. Why is Rumble not? Is anybody, do you guys have a WhatsApp group? You can just send him a message, please. I'm not sure that he's hearing that part. Okay. Renee Richards. But you can't share screen
Yes, sir.
if Rumble is still sharing. I'm not sure. Anybody has his number or something can just call him or WhatsApp him and tell him to stop sharing screen. I'm not sure oh yes, he is just up. All right, go ahead, Renee.
Good night, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renee Richards. I was trying to find an image to describe myself, but I couldn't find any image with all of these things about myself.
Well, we're seeing a pine.
The pine only come in one place. So I am motivated. I'm very flexible. I'm very creative. I try to be, well, I'm happy for most of the time. I'm low stress. I guess a pine will describe me because I can be very rough on the outside, like very, very rough, like me Jukia, but I'm very sweet on the inside. Yes, so I am an administrative assistant at Harrich's NSTA, Region 1. I am currently doing an associate degree in business administration, planning to do a degree, official degree.
You're planning to do a bachelor's. It's not an official, what you're doing is an official degree. You're planning to do a bachelor's degree.
Thanks for the correction, sir. I'm planning to do a bachelor's degree. So that's just about it for me.
All right, thank you very much, Renee. Is there anyone that I did not call? Just let me check the list. Patricia Williams, did I call you? I don't remember.
Yes, sir, you did.
I did. So that means it is, what's her name? Kamalia Harrison. Go ahead, Kamalia.
Give me a minute, sir.
Okay.
Coming up with the page. Okay, sir. It's a good evening, everyone. My name is Kamalia Harrison. I'm a second year business administration student. I chose a whale to represent my personality because a whale is generally cooperative, devoted, and conscientious, if the word is pronounced correctly. Otherwise, I am most times a team player. I always put my best foot forward in any circumstance. And though I fluster easily, I always use that inner motivation to get me going to do the best that I can. That's
All
me.
right. Thank you very much. I'm not sure I got everyone. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Carlene, I think Carlene went already. Okay. All right. So we have all introduced ourselves. And you'll find that there will be a lot of public speaking in the class. All right. There's going to be a lot of speaking, and there will be a whole host of corrections as a way to improve the way you pronounce. I myself am a student of public speaking. I think all persons are. No person is a perfect public speaker. So the course is not just, and when I say public speaker, I don't mean just pronouncing every word correctly, but in terms of even how you engage an audience, how you organize a speech, how you understand things such as protocol. For example, if it's a graduation and you're the valedictorian, you know, in terms of the protocol listing, how do you go about doing that? Recognizing, for example, the chairman of the board and all these various individuals. Where do you place each person? Giving a toast, because there are different types of public speech. Understanding communication and the communication process and how that is important to public speaking. Understanding the whole notion of articulators and how the mouth, the inside of the mouth, plays an important role in terms of how certain words are pronounced. I'm sure you have watched the news and see how those persons articulate themselves. I am still getting some amount of training in that regard as well. So there is a whole host of things that you will learn in the course. And the idea is for you to be more conscious as public speakers. No one will be a perfect public speaker because it is something that you learn over time. You don't learn everything in one course, but it is important that you are able at minimum to articulate yourself in a way that reflects the fact that you are educated, and that you can actually represent your department at your company or things like that. So that is very, 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 very important for you to get a sense of that. In terms of news reporters, they are trained public speakers, and the person I love the most is Paula Ann Porter. I'm not sure if you have ever listened to Paula Ann Porter. She is a very, 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 very good public speaker, but she's also a very trained public speaker. And so the idea is not necessarily to be like her or sound like her, but to be able to speak with confidence, being able to organize your speech, being able to understand protocol, you know, things like that, things of that nature. Very, very, very important that you understand that. I am not going to get into the specificity of the course tonight because this is our first class, and I'm sure there are persons who should be here who are not here, and already one student is even not here. And I think there's a young somebody who logged in. I don't know if she logged up because I told her to hold on because somebody was actually speaking. So 2 persons are actually not in the class at the moment. So I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of the course and the whole listing. What I want for you to do for me is to find a speech. I want you to find a public speech that you consider to be very good, and I want you to tell us, explain to us why you think it is a very good speech. So you're going to play it, so we're going to listen, and then you're going to explain to us what makes this speech a very good speech. All right, everybody understands?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to give you 15 minutes. So we're going to, at 8 o'clock, we will all share a screen, so because we want to hear the speech, and then you're going to explain why it is a good speech. All right, 15 minutes. So we all come back at 8 o'clock. All right, so let's start with Dana. Go ahead, Dana. No, let's start with Renee because we started with Dana at first. Go ahead, Renee. Let's start from the bottom of the list. Renee, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm sharing now.
Okay.
Once again, 7. There's a particular part that I want you to. So.
Can we hear it before you start talking, please?
Oh, sorry. You're hearing, right?
No, because it didn't turn on the sound.
Share sound.
Service changed my career exponentially. Service through medicine, service through art. Using whatever it is you produce, your product, as a way of giving back to the world. When you shift the paradigm of whatever it is you choose to do to service and you bring significance to that, success will, I promise you, follow you. Service and significance equals success. That's number 2. Number 3, it's so simple, but so hard to do. Always do the right thing. Always. Be excellent. People notice. Think of how you notice. You go to Taco Bell, somebody gives you an extra napkin and some sauce. You notice. You want to go back to that person, because even at Taco Bell, excellence shows itself. Be excellent. Let excellence be your brand. Everybody talks about building a brand. I never even knew what that was.
So I should finish or continue?
We're not here for the entire thing.
So I'm more of the motivational side when I'm listening to a speech. So why this speech is good, it basically have an informal touch to the audience. Nobody like a long, boring speech. I mean, if you're in front of a big audience and persons are not gravitate or can't relate to what you're saying, it tends to get boring and no information. They will not leave with any information. This speech is a good speech because it is very interesting. Persons can learn from it. So also the use of her body language, you notice her facial expression, how she's talking, is very touching to the person on the receiving end. And that's the reason why I will say that this speech is a good speech. Even a little child at age 8 or go up can relate to this speech and move onwards to achieve some goal in life. So that's the reason why this is a good speech.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go to Patricia Williams. Go ahead for me.
Give me a minute to share, sir, please.
Okay. Remember, the speech should not be more than 2 minutes.
Are you hearing?
We're not hearing. Did you turn on the sound?
I'm looking for it now, sir.
You have to turn on the sound on Zoom, you know, not on not
The easiest way to build
Okay.
self-confidence. There's no magic. In my past life as a soccer coach, once you win a national championship, everybody wants to come play for you. Really not true. Once you pay them $25,000 a year in scholarships, everybody wants to come play for you. And parents would always come to me and they'd say, okay, my son or my daughter wants to come play at your university. What is it that we have to do? You know, what are you looking for? And being the Socratic professor that I am, well, what does your son or daughter do? What do they do really well that we'd be interested in? And typically their answers are, well, they've got great vision. They're really good. They can see the entire field. Or my daughter is the fastest player. There's nobody that can beat her. Or my son's got a great left foot or really, really great in the air and can head every ball. I'm like, yeah, not bad. But to be quite honest with you, those are the last things I'm looking for. The most important thing, self-confidence. Without that skill, and I use the word skill intentionally, without that skill, we are useless as a soccer player. Because when you lose sight or belief in yourself, we're done for. I use the definition of self-confidence to be the ability or the belief to believe in yourself to accomplish any task, no matter the odds, no matter the difficulty, no matter the adversity. The belief that you can accomplish it. Self-confidence. Some of you are saying, great, I don't have it, I'm so.
Okay, sir. So I believe that was a great public speech because he started out with a strong opening by telling a story about his past life to capture the audience. And so the audience were engaged. His pacing wasn't too fast or too slow. He also portrayed confidence, and he articulated his words in a simple way that everyone could understand. Yes, sir, that's it.
Thank you very much. That was really good. Really, really good. That's more what I was looking for in terms of what is a great speech, in terms of how the speech is organized and all of that. All right, so thanks for that. That's really good. Lashana Brown, go ahead.
Sir, Lashana was asking me what to do. It seemed as if she was not here.
Okay, all right. Carry on Daily, go ahead for me, carry on. Thanks, Renee. Carry on Daily, are you there? Carry on Daily. I'm seeing her on the platform.
Come in, sir.
Okay. Sound as if you're having connectivity issue. Karen, I think you're having connectivity issues because we're not hearing anything at all. In the interim, I'm going to ask Carlene to go ahead until Karen is able to share. Go ahead for me, Carlene Wilson.
All right, sir. All right, so as I said that, I am unable to share screen, so I'm just gonna play a clip. However, the clip that I think was the first clip with Oprah Winfrey, that was the clip I was gonna play. But because I realized that she chose that one, I have to go for other one. Back in the days, I listened to one that but it's a 15 minutes one.
You just need to hear at least a minute of it.
Right. So I'm gonna
like to take.
Plain no. All right. So here it goes.
Intimacy, security, respect, good communication, a sense of being valued. These are some of the things that most people would agree make for healthy relationships. And researchers would agree too. There's a large body of literature on romantic relationships that's identified the features of healthy relationships. And the list I just provided contains many of them. Researchers also agree on what makes for unhealthy relationships. Things like fighting so much that you just can't work things out, not being able to go to your partner for support when you need it, contempt, criticism, hostility, violence. When these problems happen in relationships, they can cause significant unhappiness. They can lead to the end of relationships and divorce, and they can literally make people physically and emotionally sick. This is why it's so critical that people have healthy relationships. But there's a problem. How many people know, I mean really know what to do on a day-to-day basis to create healthy relationships? My point is this. We may know
Hello?
what a healthy relationship
Don't you
looks
hear the
like.
entire speech?
No, no, I was gonna play 2 minutes, like we said. So the reason why I chose this speech is that all right, this was from experience because this is a video that I watched before. And when I stroll and the way also started to say, intimacy, security, respect, so on. So like in the first 2 minutes, it's like she spoke on unhealthy relationship, and she also spoke on when do we when should we start, a therapy. So right then and there, you'd want to, listen more because in the first 2 minutes she would have outlined everything that maybe a person who is going through something would want to hear. So she was engaging for the first 2 minutes. So she just touched some key points that person would want to listen to her. So that's the reason why I chose this public speaking.
All right, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Go ahead for me, Kamala Harrison. Go ahead for me.
You and I are not very different from this flower. Just like this flower is unique, you are unique. All of us has something special that makes us as beautiful. Do you know what makes you special? Now, the answer to that can be a little difficult to find because sometimes life has a cruel way of picking out your petals, breaking you in two, and throwing you into the trash. And when you're broken, it's very difficult to feel special. Mr. Contest Chair, my fellow flowers, I can remember the first time I broke. I was 17 years old. I had already flunked high school and managed to get myself arrested. Now, I wasn't afraid of the cops, but there was one person I was very afraid of, and that was my mama. Raise your hand if you have an emotional mother. Let me see. Put them all together, you get mama. I can hear her scream outside the police station. Even the cops were afraid. She came up to me, held the iron bars, looked into my eyes, and I saw a tear coming down her face. Now, I've seen my mama cry before, but mothers cry 3 types of tears. Tears of joy, tears of sorrow, and tears of shame. And when a son sees a mother cry tears of shame, that's a life-changing moment. She looked at me and said, son, I want you to be a better man. That night, when I drove home.
Okay, sir. So I chose this speech because he came out with what I believe to be an attention getter. You couldn't have really guessed what he was about to speak about, but the moment he began, speaking, he touched base with reality, basically. I believe it's a good speech because his tone was controlled and he told his story just to get persons to understand that even though this is their reality, if you watch the speech in entirety, you will realize that even though the world around you makes you or tries to break you, there are always persons in your life to help put you back together. So as I said before, I believe he spoke from his heart. He spoke his reality. His tone was controlled and he was very engaging with the audience.
Thank you. That
And
was
at the end,
sorry.
at the end he had a call to action because he was speaking about his father seeing something in him, but he didn't know what it is. But in the end, he realized what it was. So the call to action was for persons to realize what they had in them, realize it and acknowledge it and live it.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, all of my students and when we teach, so only look like me they teach somebody in the course before, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's how I'm going to look at things in our class. Come here, wonder how analysis so thorough. It's very thorough, and you're right on the ball in terms of how he starts, in terms of it is an attention getter, but it also makes the audience very curious. All right, and notice that in this instance, it's not about pronouncing every word correctly, but it's really about relating a story to the audience, and the audience could care less if he sounds like Paul and Porter. The audience doesn't care about that. What they care about is the story being told, and public speaking really is about telling stories, using that voice, and knowing how to use the voice and your experiences as well as other things. That was Kamalia. Junior Rumble, are you able to share with us? Junior Rumble. All right, so I'm not sure if his... All right, Geraldine Hammond, go ahead for me.
Sir, oh, you said I should turn on
So you have
audio?
to, so when you click on share screen, so stop sharing for me. Let me tell you directly, stop sharing. So when you click on share screen, you're going to look to your bottom left. There's a share sound that you have to check. You have to click on it first, and then you go to the video itself for us to hear.
You can click on the 3 little dots if you're not seeing it on your screen. Yeah, okay?
All right, let me try it now.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Principals, Registrars, Ministers of Government, members of the Diplomatic Corps, officers of the university, professors, lecturers, members of staff, honorary graduates, parents, friends and fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a felicitous morning to you all. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Chancellor and Dr. Michael Holding for their very inspiring and engaging addresses. The motto of the university is "A light rising from the west," and we, the graduating class of 2018, will hope to be beacons of inspiration from the east, the west, the north, and the south. Fellow graduates, like the caterpillar and the butterfly, we have survived that cathartic experience. We reached the Rubicon, arriving as graduands, and having crossed it as imperiously as Caesar did in 49 BC, we have arrived as graduates.
Sir, I can stop you, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what I like about Kadeen is that when she came up, well, I'm thinking that she's the audience's favorite. As you hear how the audience reacted when she came up. And I liked how she addressed the persons, like from the highest person or the top level person right down to the invitees.
It's called protocol listing.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Another thing, she had eye contact with the audience as well. She didn't, even though it's a speech, she's reading from something, she didn't really keep on reading from the script. She, she glanced at it and she looked in the crowd, and that's what I liked about her as well. I think she had made some reference to a novel when she said, what, 49 BC, something about Caesar. Right, I think I like how she made reference to that, maybe to just express how the graduates have accomplished their goals. And also she mentioned the university motto, which describes the aim and the beliefs of the students.
Okay.
I think that's basically it for me.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you. Did I miss anybody? Dana Spear, go ahead for me, Dana. Miss Spear? Okay.
So I moved to California with $700 in my pocket and my toddler. I have to fight the good fight because people are telling me I can't. You can't do this. You can't. Are you crazy? You're moving to California with your son. You'll never make it. I was 26 when I decided to come here. There's the age thing. Oh, you're too old. If you listen to people and if you allow people to project their fears onto you, you won't live. What if I believed those people who told me that when I became pregnant in college that I wouldn't finish? I walked across that stage with my son on my hip and I collected my degree, my diploma. I didn't hear the naysayers when they were like, you're too old to go to California. If you don't hit by 25, you're not gonna make it. I will be 46 this year. I am just touching the surface. I am just getting started. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had a passion, I had a dream, and I dived in and I went for my dream. It all starts with you. You're the temple and you have control. You're in a bad situation. It's up to you to get out of it. You can't give another human the responsibility of your happiness.
Okay, sir. So I chose this speech because as it relates to the type of audience that she was speaking to, not only those who were directly in front of her, but also for those who were watching on television. It was something that a lot of people could relate to, not only the fact that, you know, those who wanted to probably come to Hollywood for acting or whatever, but just for those who might have believed that they are too old to accomplish certain things. So I believe that she spoke her story, and it's related to a lot of people, and not just as I said in terms of Hollywood, but in terms of education at a certain age, as she said, and she grabbed everyone's attention. Everyone was listening keenly and so on. So that is why I chose that speech.
All right, question though, was that a speech in and of itself, or was it a spliced videos?
The well, I was more leaning towards the first section when she was speaking to the people in front of her.
Okay, all right. No, the reason I asked is because you played the entire thing, so that's why I asked.
Oh, okay, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I don't think I have everybody though. I don't think. Carry on. Is your internet now working?
Should think so, sir. Let me share.
Okay. We're not hearing. Did you turn on the? I think someone just say you need to click on the three dots to make it work. I'm not sure if that's. Renee, is that so? Which three dots she clicks on? The ones on screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, click on the three dots to see if it works.
Yes, it was plain. Play, carry on.
Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship.
You have paused, so I'm expecting you to start speaking. I'm not hearing any sound. I'm not sure if you're still having connectivity issues.
Okay, you're hearing me now? Because I was all right. Okay, so Miss Pearson, she engaged her audience by using a tone that didn't sound rehearsed. She spoke with a passion, showing that she loved and enjoyed teaching and interacting with her students. She's a motivator who believed in the potential of students and believe in bringing it out. She's confident, as you can see, she's very confident in delivering her speech, and you know, she captured the audience.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you stop sharing, please? Okay, I don't really have a favorite speech, but there is one that I like listening to. I think I have several of them. And this is one.
Okay, my name is Peter George Simon. I'm a senior investment strategist at Barry.
A divisive partisan race. Obama's speech is in some ways an antidote.
As one people. If there is a child on them, there's another ingredient.
Partisan race. Obama's speech is in some ways an antidote to that.
Alongside our famous individualism, there's another ingredient in the American saga. A belief that we're all connected as one people. If there is a child on the south side of Chicago who can't read, that matters to me even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen somewhere who can't pay for their prescription drugs and having to choose between medicine and the rent, that makes my life poor even if it's not my grandparent. It is that fundamental belief, I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this country work. E pluribus unum, out of many, one.
He gives a speech that presages his entire...
All right, so one of the things that I like about this, well, part of the reason I like this speech is that Obama at this point in time is representing a crossroads in American politics in terms of not just what I call political or party politics, but also racial politics. And he is trying to sew a needle, my metaphor, of pulling Americans together. And if you notice, he speaks about the ordinary person. So he is considered extraordinary, but he speaks about the ordinary person. And this whole theme of unity and being my brother's keeper is intertwined or becomes a kind of repetition that is in the speech. As well as he reminds me of the speech by Martin Luther King Jr. about I Have a Dream. To me, he sounds very much like Martin Luther King. He's a very, very good orator. As you can see, his pace is very measured. He knows when to pause and he knows when to emphasize or place emphasis on certain words. And outside of that, I remember when he was just entering the race, and I never used to pay attention to American politics, and I was going to my bed. And for some strange reason, I was, scrolling through the channels, and I paused when I heard his voice, and I said to myself, I thought Martin Luther King was dead. And I listened that night and I was inspired. And from then on, I started listening to Obama. So of course, all of us have various reasons for listening to certain speakers. So Obama is a very good orator, paces himself very well, knows how to use metaphor and repetition in his speech, and knows how to make ordinary persons in the audience, because they're not just the persons who are physically in front of him, but the persons who are at home, feel extraordinary or feel a part of the American fabric. All right. So as I said to you before, in terms of public speaking, there are two ways of how we have to look at it. We have to look at it in terms of being able to enunciate and pronounce our words, but that is not the only thing that is important. The other side of it is being able to tell a story, being able to use the different types of techniques that are used in a speech, the metaphors and the similes and the repetitions, the anecdotes, the evidence, the appeal to authority, the rhetorical question, using those in your speech to build some sort of relationship with the audience, knowing also how to organize a speech is very, very important. You have a beginning, you have an end, and an end. I think I want for you, let me see if I can find an actual, well, it's kind of my stump speech now. The first time I did it in Canada, and let me see if I don't know if I can find it. Did I put it on Facebook? Let me see if I can find it. And you can, give me your feedback. Actually, I'm speaking at a funeral on Thursday again. I've always been asked. Let me see if I can. And you can just give me your own and the way I do this, and it has become quite a stump speech because people always say it's really good. So I kind of use it as my stump speech at different funerals. I'm trying to find the video. Your videos of you. Okay, do I want videos of you or I want my videos? All right. All right, so hold on, I found the speech. All right, so I don't want you to hear my crowing voice, so I skipped out the singing part. And what the hell is happening here? All right, this was in Canada last year.
Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. I begin with the famous lines from the Nat King Cole song, Unforgettable. Lloyd Richards, affectionately called Papa Lloyd, Greedy, Ja Lloyd, Chinaman, or Pied, is indeed unforgettable. He's unforgettable because when he was here in the flesh, he was so many things to so many people. He is unforgettable because he was a great husband. He is unforgettable because he was a great father. He was a great grandfather. He is unforgettable because he lived a life dedicated to his family, his friends, and to others. If anyone knows Papa Lloyd, they could figure out why he had so many nicknames. Papa means he was a father, not just to his biological children, but also to his 2 adopted daughters, and to the many other children he fathered. He had over 14 children, or 14 of them. Greedy meant that at some point in his life, he did love him belly. His wife affectionately told me that in his last days, he had a craving. The man just didn't want food, and more food. I can actually hear him say to me many times when we had our conversation in Jamaica, a sick man and the hungriest man. The man couldn't manage 2 peas, but that's what he wanted to eat. He was also called Ja Lloyd. And of course, Ja means that he was a man of God, and he was married to a woman who was also serving God. He grew up in the Baptist church, and he was a big singer, and that was my attempt to see if he sounded better, you know, who sounded better. He was a big singer, so I had to do something. Singing in Sunday school as well as at concerts. Chinaman meant that he looked Chinese. Anybody remembers that he looked Chinese? All right. And PZ, I guess you get the point. I don't know if he made shape like a piece. But Lloyd Richards was much more than nicknames. He was a man that began his life on April 22, 1938. He, however, celebrated his birthday on April 9, having been given his brother's birthday by error. He ended up being, it was his way of celebrating his brother's life and keeping the memory alive. He was a brother of 9 and grew up in the parish of Clarendon. Any Clarendon people in the house? All right, hold it over there, hold it over there. Represent. All right, you're representing, I'm a Kingstonian. In the book, The Measure of a Man, Cindy Poitier reflects upon his life and raises the question about how his life should be measured. Great men accomplish great things that impact not just their lives, but the lives of those they measure as invaluable to them. Papa Lloyd's greatest accomplishments are evident in the memories of his wife, his children, relatives, and all who are present in the room. His wife describes him as a very good husband. He must have been because they were married for over 40 years, getting married in 1992. He never complained, and most times instead of arguing with his wife, he would reach out to members of her church or even her pastor and would often say, I can't manage this woman, you know. Papa Lloyd was a selfless man. He must have been, especially since on his first date with Aunt Dar, he bought 2 curry goat and she named them off. This was his first test and he passed with flying colors, proving himself to be a real gentleman. They would also get up early in the mornings and watch TV and talk about everything. And I can attest to it because whenever they are in Jamaica, I would visit them and I was always awoken by the conversations and plates being moved and stuff like that. In the end, his wife experienced the true meaning of love and devotion. But I think his greatest role was as a father. Actions speak louder than words. And when he came to Canada in 1980 from Clarendon, he sent for all his children of his previous relationship. He was also a productive man, or in my words, a reproductive man. He had what? 14 children, 2 of whom he adopted when he got married. This is the measure of Lloyd Richards. Again, I can hear the voice of Nat King Cole's yelling across the room. Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. In describing him as a father, I will read verbatim a few words from one of his children. He always injected the ideology of doing things with your own hands into us. Growing up, when other kids were out and out playing, the old man had us doing a variety of trades with him. He had me doing flooring with him, or had us outside teaching us how to change engine oil or brakes. He is the reason I'm so into cars. He is the reason why I try to fix everything myself first. He is described by his children as dedicated, loving, hardworking, and a role model. For them, Daddy was seemingly invincible growing up. To provide for his children, he was a carpenter, a mechanic, a tailor, an electronic repairman, a florer, a truck driver, a heavy machine operator, and the list goes on. Dad, for them, was seemingly invincible. And in my words, he was their superhero. I can hear his children echo the metaphorical words of Luther Vandross. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never end. How I'd love to dance with my father again. Even though he was a very busy man working, he always made time for his children, especially the circus he created around watching even the boringest movie. He would laugh, and we know he loved laugh, and Gart is kind of like him, because he was a laugher. It was as if he was an actor in the movie. But what he was really doing in those particular moments was creating never again relived moments. Those moments when he would give Jackie back ride, as we call it in Jamaica, to Anne-Marie. Those moments when he would pretend to not know that Gart and Anne-Marie thief out the car and drive and they don't have no license. Those moments when he would teach his children to use their hands to fix any problem that may arise at the home. Those moments when he would sit his boys down and advise them about intimate love and relationship. Those are the moments that make him, in their eyes, unforgettable. Not just a father, but he was a jack of all trades and a master of many. He was a multi-talented man who had no high school education or university degree, but he was very skilled. He started his adult life at the age of 50. You hear my statement, right? He started his adult life at the age of 50, becoming a truck driver at a sugar estate in Clarendon. His quick wit and street smarts led him to hone his skills in several areas. Anyone knew that the Chinaman was also a good cook and a dressmaker? Remember my Chinaman too, you know? He was a good cook and he was a dressmaker. Anybody knew that? Yeah. You know a man is worth the life he's given when he starts making dresses for his wife. When his wife started attending church in Canada and was in need of dresses because she never wanted to wear pants, dressmaker Lloyd would go to Fabric Land and buy patterns and materials and sew the finest suit for his favorite girl, Dorothy Richards. He extended his talents also to other church members. I met Papa Lloyd in Jamaica a few years ago. He and my grandaunt, you know, they live in Canada and they live in Jamaica. And whenever they visited, I would normally go down and visit them. I can truly say that he always had a smile on his face, and I always felt as if I was family. I never knew that very long. One of the things I admired most about him was the devotion and dedication to his life and to his children. He was always telling me stories about them. I actually knew Sean before I actually met him in person. I knew almost all of them, and of course, he gave me some funny story about Nadine, but I won't share them. And to call out, Lordy-o, a million times, and he would never seem annoyed. He was always ready to assist or found something to do in the yard. I also remember when he became ill and I went down to visit Auntie, he was not his usual self because we would have our conversations and we could no longer have it. It was troubling to me to see a man who was up and about, now not being able to help himself independently. We should all realize that a man who has lived to see 82 years is a man who has lived a full life, a great life, an unforgettable life. I close with a few lines from a Kirk Franklin song that I think gives comfort to all of us. Till we meet again. I say to you, Papa Lloyd, Greedy, Jaloy, Chinaman, or PZ, on behalf of your immediate family, your wife, your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and your friends, may his peace be with you till we meet again. May his peace be with you till we meet again, till we reach that distant shore, and we'll shed a tear no more. May he give us strength to endure.
All right, so that was
till
kind
we
of
meet
quite
again.
lengthy,
Thank
but
you.
I wanted you to see the entire thing. All right, feedback, people, techniques used, or what you thought about the speech.
Sir, I believe it's a good speech, very good speech. It was poetic. Everyone could relate to it. I saw where you use repetition a couple times there. So yeah, that's my input.
Thank you. Come on. Anybody else?
Sir, I think your pace, you had a good pace. It wasn't too fast and it wasn't too slow. Your enunciation was there on point. Actually, I would say when you use the part about, like, sir, there's a little joke in it that actually caught the audience, so they were engaged, and your start was good, sir.
Well, thank you. Anybody else? All right, so when you're doing a speech, you have to make certain strategic decisions about how is it that you want to do the speech, how you're going to deliver it. All right, so when I was in Canada in 2019, my grandaunt's husband fell ill, and I don't know why this chose me, but they asked me to do the eulogy. And you know, eulogy, typically people just go and say, oh, John Brown was born in 1990, went to primary school, went to high school, and they give this long litany of things. And in my mind, that's not how you eulogize somebody's life. You really ought to, first of all, interview the people that knew him. Well, in my case, I interviewed persons who knew him well. So his wife, his kids, his friends, and then I said, okay, how am I going to tell his story? And in my mind, too, a eulogy is a celebration of life, especially for somebody who has lived to see great grandchildren. So it was, in my mind, it was a celebration of life. So it wasn't just, you know, you go there and you're talking and you want the person to bawl and holler and all of that, but you really want to lift the spirit of persons who are in the audience. So my point is that you make certain strategic decisions about how you want to deliver the speech. And what I try to do in that eulogy or in that speech as well is to give the different perspectives of this person. So his wife, his kids, his friends, my own perspective. You try to give the different views to really tell the story of this person. And also to humor is very important. Humor is important because if persons laugh, it means that they're paying attention to what you're saying. And as I said before, not because it's a funeral, it means that you're going to go there and you want people to drop down and holler and bawl and all of that. Sometimes that is not the best way of, at least in my mind, and as I said, this is a decision you'll have to make as a speaker depending on the occasion. How are you going to organize your speech? And as somebody rightly pointed out, I deliberately use repetition about being unforgettable. That song kind of just, it was in my ear when I was writing the speech about this person. In another speech I did for my cousin who was recently murdered in Maypen, I used Michael Jackson's Gone Too Soon because he was much younger. So for a younger person, I had to kind of change it up a little bit. So I'm making the point that public speaking is not just about, you know, properly speaking words and but it's also pulling together a narrative and using, making certain strategic decisions and using the devices, the rhetorical devices that are available in the English language and in English literature to really tell a story. All right, I think this was a very good introduction to oral communication. I think I have you guys on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember. Which day do I have you? I think it's either Wednesday.
Wednesday. 5 to 7.
Right, Wednesday, probably one of those days. All right, so I think this was a very good introduction. For your homework, I want for you to go on Nationwide and do a news report for me. And you must put it on your YouTube channel. Everybody must create a YouTube channel using your ECC email, and then you're going to come and present it in the class, okay? So if you want to watch examples of news reporting, no problem. But your homework is for you to create a YouTube channel and do a news report, go Nationwide. And if you want to go on a different station, you can, but I like how Nationwide organizes it. So there's a part where you have to read, and then you can play the audio from they normally have the quote, and then you read again, then you have the quote. It's in my mind, it works a little bit better. And then we take it from there to see, in that instance, no, part of what you're doing in reporting is to ensure that you're properly pronouncing the words, but also to that the tone of your voice, the pace of your voice, the rhythm in your voice actually matches what you're reporting. All right, have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything you want to add before we go?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Night, sir.
Night.